Hey everybody, just a Scrubs here. We got the top 16 deck profile from our Halifax Regionals. And what is it? It's just Machina. That's all he said it was. Let's get started.
Okay. A lot of Earths in the deck. So obviously one Redox. Unfortunately in the tournament I actually mistakenly put in a BLS, so I wasn't running this. This was a BLS in my deck and it was dead every time I drew it, obviously. It was possible to summon it with the deck because I do run Fusiliers and Effect Veilers, but it was dead every time I drew it. And when I did draw it, if it was Redox, it would have been live every time when I would have won the turn that I could have summoned it. So anyway, one Redox is standard. It's just a good card, good defensive card. And he's a level 7 and makes Big Eye and Drago Sax, etc., which everybody knows. So, 1 Grand Mole just for tech.
Keep the cards upside down.
Sorry. 1 Grand Mole. 1 Grand Mole for tech. Just good. My side deck I run Kaiser Colosseums, so I can get a lock in on it. Summon a monster. You have 1, I bounce it, attack, in turn, and it just continues. And gets rid of stupid stuff like Ophion.
Yeah, that's a nice Noble Knight guy you got there.
Yeah, exactly. It works really good. 1 Goblinberg. Just works good for some special summonings with level 4s, and in my deck it has 0 defense, which is good for because I run Charmeleons in my deck, which you'll see in a minute. So it's just a little bit of synergy for the deck that works, and he's an Earth, so he works with Redox, etc. And it just works. 2 Effect Veiler, hand traps, pretty much have to have them. Probably better off at 3. If you're going to run 2, you should run 3. It's 3 or none.
Because like you run it to stop First Turn Prophecy and Fire Fist and stuff like that.
Exactly. So I would run 3. I definitely recommend over it. When I finished my deck, I was doing everything. I actually had 38 cards, and I went, oh, I got 2 spots. I went, oh shoot, I forgot to put in my Effect Veiler, so I just stuck in 2 and off I went. So like I said, I wish I would have had 3. And speaking of 3, defense. That's all this is. But they also have 0 defense, so they come back with Mass Charmeleons, and it makes an Armades, which is sick. It stops, it just all by itself kills Gravekeepers, and a lot of that stuff. It's just a really good card, and I hate being OTK'd.
It's not destroyed.
I can't stand being OTK'd, so...
Machina can be a very aggressive deck, so even after you switch Scarecrow, you can always make a comeback.
Exactly. And I like, I've played my decks, I run it so that I have a policy of, in order to win, you can't lose. This is a don't lose card. I don't lose gives me a chance to win on the next turn.
You can detach.
Off it goes.
He's not being destroyed, he's being set.
Just 2 of each gadget.
No explanation.
Mustard, relish, and ketchup.
Good cards.
They just search each other out. You just plus, and 3 10 goldfish. Same thing, just so I can spam XYZs, level 4 XYZs, which is really what the deck is about. I make the XYZ at the time that I need a certain thing, or a certain effect, a certain amount. I can get the effect that I want. I can go into defense or offense with it over and over. It just runs smooth. And it's a machine for my fortresses, etc. And it just works good. I wish they were Earth or not.
If they were Earth.
That would be kind of sick. I run 3 Fusilier Dragons. My side deck is, they're really good when I side into Skill Drain for my side deck, which we'll see in a minute. But they're also level 7, so I can just drop them, drop a Fortress, and it's instant Drago Sack or Big Eye, whatever the case may be, so I use it for that deck. And they're machines for my Fortress as well. So it's just sweet. So.
Plus it's the dark for Eradicators.
Exactly. And if you happen to put a BLS in your deck by accident, there's a big story behind that, which I won't bore the viewers with. 2 Masked Charmeleons. Now, after running this card, believe it or not, after saying everything, I would reduce it to 1. Lots of times it was dead in my hand because I would go Gear Fray or do something. It's just a dead card. It would have been better off if it was a spell or a trap, something I could set. So I'm going to take out and go down to 1. But it's a lot of options with the card. They work fantastic with these guys. Once again, 0 defense. So I bring him back out and I instant make an XYZ level 8, or sorry, Synchro, into a level 8 Synchro monster. 0 defense. And of course they search out
2 big dudes.
The Fortresses, which are really good. They get targeted, they get their effects, they get died in battle, they get a good effect. And their special summon of a level 7. And just works great.
Question. Why no Machina Cannon? It's It's a level 8. You can search it. It's a free fortress.
Because it's a shitty card otherwise. Other than that, it's just not a good card. It's a good card for discard fodder to bring this back, but other than that, it's not really a good card. I'd rather have something that was more playable. I draw the card on top deck it. What use is it?
Yeah. Unless you have a fortress in gear, it's not going to do anything.
So, and then we'll go into the spells.
Let's just burn through the spells. Most of it should be obvious.
3 Lance, Chalice,
And you took 1,000 from
3 MST. That's a lot of back row hate, but I don't want my attacks when I swing. I want them to go through, and I don't want my stuff blowing up. I can't afford it.
Yeah.
It's got to last, got to go where it is. And the Chalice is just another effect veiler in a way. I use it to switch stuff off.
Oh yeah,
and
you
it
can
makes
also
my
beat over stuff too.
makes my Fusilier Dragon get big all of a sudden pretty quick as well. Oh yeah, and I run an Iron Call and a Book of Moon. Iron Call on my deck, I have 13 targets for it.
Yeah.
It's Monster Reborn.
That's
It's just Monster Reborn, and Book of Moon for really just for defense. It's just a great card. It's just, it's just a staple.
Just to dodge stuff, and it's a really good neck
It's a really good card. TT, Warning, Bottomless, and the only thing people might not expect is Transmigration Prophecy. Right now, it just gets rid of stuff in the graveyard. You're going up against Boojins or Noble Knights, it gets rid of stuff that's a potential problem for you. And I can also put stuff back in my deck. My gadgets can go back in so I can search them out again and plus off it as well.
Did you ever run out of gadgets or Machinas and just put some back and then start plussing some more?
Only once.
Only once?
Only once. I had already won before that happened, or had already lost, but mostly I already won.
Yeah.
And I want to be said too, I luck sacked the hell out of several people.
Yeah.
I really did. I got lucky when I dueled the deck. I drew what I needed, and when I drew something terrible, my opponent was drawing something terrible.
Yeah.
So it was just lucky. You know, I went 5 and 2, and I was lucky the whole way. Side deck, star of the show. 3 of these.
Big beater.
These guys are amazing, especially when you play, say, a Modolce deck. People go out of their way to go get the field spell for me. Right? I don't put field spells in. I don't need to. I let them base their deck on it, Gravekeepers, whatever, and I just send them in.
Gravekeepers, Modolce, Prophecy.
There's so much stuff, but you don't know if you're playing it or not, so I put it in my side deck. And
it's kind of a funny side deck, though. It's like, I'm not going to side anything vital against you, but I'm going to side this card that's going to be extremely big just because you have a field spell.
Works all day long.
And then you're going to have to overcommit to get over it.
I killed so many people with this. You'll see as well what else I run because of it. 3 skill drain. Obviously, make my Fusiliers in my main deck super good, and obviously the Halifax Cyber Ends.
Yeah.
It's just stupid with it. For a little bit of thing here, if you don't run 3 of these, you're crazy. There's so much late monsters out in the game right now that are almost running the format, Boojins, etc. You're just going to lose unless you have these in your side deck. If you don't, you deserve to. Everybody runs DNA surgeries. In my deck, I run zombie worlds instead. They're field spells, which are good for my Malefic Cyber Ends. They do almost everything that DNA surgery does, and in some cases they do more. And when other people are running field spells, like Gravekeepers or whatever, Modolces, I can lay it over. It serves multiple purposes in the deck. Really underrated card. This card was great. When I sided it in and I drew it, I was nothing but happy every time.
500.
2 Kaiser Colosseums, which I said before with my Grand Mole, is just stupid. And Malefic Cyber End. I make big monsters and I try and beat you, and I tuck in 1 card, this card here. This card here is amazing.
Now what does this card do?
This card is standoff. What it basically says is any monster, I pick a monster and I pick your monster, and their effects are negated. Period. So I would drop down a Malefic Cyber End. Its effect is negated. If they MST, or sorry, they can't do anything to it. The effect is there, it's good. If you get rid of my field spell, get rid of skill drain, it still stays. It doesn't go.
What is the other effect of standoff?
The other effect of standoff? There isn't one. It just negates the effects of cards.
Let me see that.
I'm afraid of.
Standoff. Target 1 face-up attack position. Affect monster on each side of the field. If both monsters are still face-up on the field, negate their effects. Then if their effects were negated by this effect, as long as those monsters are in face-up attack position, they cannot be destroyed by battle and are unaffected by other card effects.
They just can't be destroyed.
Also, they cannot attack or change your battle position.
That's what it is. They can't attack.
Now, the thing is, if you get, say, you target an Exceed on their field, then they can't do anything. They can't overlay on top of it.
That's what you want to pick. You want to pick their XYZ monster and your big monster. The biggest monster you have, the better, because you can still take damage. I could put this on a 1200 attack monster. They summon a 2000 attack monster. I take 800 over and over again.
Yeah.
So I would use my Facilier Dragon, bring him out at 14. I put this card on him. He's 2800, and he's just the wall. And then it lets me stall until I get my stuff. And I always want to put it on an XYZ if I can. The way to get out of it is to tribute your XYZ for something. That's how you get it. If you don't draw a tribute monster, you're stuck with that monster.
Yeah, plus if you use it on a monster that's not an exceed on your side, then you can just, when you finally
get out of it when you want,
you can just overlay with it.
Exactly.
Anyways, how much is the main deck? I forgot to ask.
How much does it cost?
Now, how much is how many cards?
40 cards.
40 cards? Okay. Let's move on to the extra deck.
Extra deck right now, since we're having an OTS, I've lent out 5 cards to friends that are playing. Since I already got my invite, I didn't play. I run 2 Gear X. Just a
standard searcher.
Yeah, it's just a great card for the deck. That's what the deck is about, right? Go get what you want. Go get your 10 goldfish. Go get mock in a frame, or go get a mustard relish or ketchup. Retired it. Cowboy. Nice defense, but it's really good in extra time. You just do a little bit of burn on turn 3 or turn 5, whatever the case may be. Super good. And I use it, believe it or not, as a beater, because he's basically a 3000 attack monster when you want him. And he's a level 4 guy that can beat up just about everything in the game if you need to. Really, really versatile card. Crazy box. Not that crazy about the card normally, but when I have skill drain up, really, really good. And if you're in a dire emergency and you're just hoping to luck sack somebody, which I did twice at the regionals, you can become pretty good. But card is really just for skill drain. It's a level 4 3000 attack monster. That's really what I have him for.
What about its effects?
Dragosack, Big Eye is lent out right now. Level 7, so I make them pretty easy in the deck.
So you ran a Dragosack and a Big Eye?
Yeah.
Okay.
And for Synchros, start a Spark Dragon. It's just a good card.
Protect Kaiser, protect
exactly.
Olympic Cyberman, all that shit.
Like to do that. Can I get some chain, right?
Colossal Fighter, just big, stompy, beefy, beat up a lot of decks right now.
Screw you, Boojins.
Yeah, it's just a great card.
Yep.
It's good in format right now. This guy here I make pretty easy. Level 7 guy, I drop down Machina Fortress, I bring up my Mass Chameleon, that's instant him. Right away. It's that easy in the deck.
Chameleon? Oh, you mean like summon Chameleon and not use the effect?
I can use the effect if I want to. It doesn't matter, but I can... No, because you can't special summon after you do that.
Okay.
I just summon him, bring up Fortress, then drop down Mass Chameleon, and it's instant synchro for Star Eater. I ran 2 of this, lent out. This is a Gravekeeper matchup, and anything you don't want, people are playing face down stuff, it's just annihilate it. Anything face down.
Won, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Scrap Dragon.
Dragon.
It's a standard, but it's a good card, gets you out of jam sort of thing. It's a good beater.
What were the other rank 4s that you used?
I also had 2 101s.
And an Exciton?
And an Exciton Knight.
And that was 15 total?
Yes.
Okay.
And it was Exciton Knight. I only played once all tournament, but when I played it, wow, was it ever good? Because I was dead lost, massively dead lost. Had 1 card in my hand, and my opponent had pretty much a full field. And I was lucky when I played it. He had no response, and I nuked everything. And we basically got into a top deck war, which my deck is really good at.
Yeah. Anyways, since this video is getting a bit long, I would like to ask you what your matches are, but just say what the deck was and say what your record was against it.
Geez, I don't even remember, to be honest. I played, my first 2 games were both against Boojins. I beat them both without any problem at all. I just beat them up.
Yep.
I just beat them up. And once I could standoff on them, I side decked in a standoff and skill drain, and it was over. It was just over against them. I played a couple of rogue decks. Geez, I don't know what they were. Monster Mash. I played against an all-monster deck.
Yeah.
And skill drain takes care of that. Forbidden Chalice, Effect Veilers, like they're just. I was just lucky.
Yep.
I lost against a mirror match, but it was Geargias, which are better than these. They're just flat out the Geargia. If you want to play machines, Geargia is better than old school gadgets. But I'm an old guy and I like old school stuff, and I'm used to it. And that was pretty much it. I played 1 other game and I can't remember what the deck was.
It's cool. But other than that, you went 5-2, made 16th place, got your invite. Congrats. Anyways, that's been the deck profile. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Peace.